Next up is a mammoth task, stabilizing and protecting fossil mammal specimens in a sustainable and accessible friendly way for a large-scale collections move by Lydia Amies and Caitlin Jenkins from the Natural History Museum, London.
Hello, I'm Lydia, and this is Caitlin, and we're conservators at the Natural History Museum in London. Today we'll be talking about a conservation project with our fossil mammal collection, where we are preparing specimens for a large-scale collections move. Here's what we'll be covering today. I'll be giving an overview of the NHM Unlocked programme and the Fossil Mammal Collection. We'll be having a look at some examples of the stabilisation work we've been carrying out on this collection, as well as discussing how we've been sustainable in our use of materials. Okay, the NHM Unlocked programme is a 10-year-long collections move project funded by the UK government. A third of the museum's collections, which is around 28 million specimens, will be moving from 2 sites in London to a newly built collections and research centre at Thames Valley Science Park, which is near Reading. The move stage will start in 2028. Our conservation team have been assessing, treating and stabilising vulnerable specimens to ensure that they are safe and protected during the move. We are also ensuring that our storage solutions are sustainable and cost effective and can continue to be used at the new site for many years into the future. The work we are doing will ensure that specimens can be handled safely, which will improve access to the collections. So our fossil mammal collection is one of the most complex collections that we will be moving. It is made up of around 350,000 specimens, which include fossilized bone, as well as soft tissue and hair. We also have a variety of modern and historic casts, as well as articulated skeletons on armature and mounts, such as the Smilodon skeleton shown in the middle image here. There are several conservation challenges we face when working on this collection. The sheer scale of the collection makes surveying and treating these specimens very time and resource intensive. There are a high number of oversized specimens, such as the Astenotherium skull shown on the left image there. And these are hard to access safely, and we can't always assess how fragile these specimens are until we attempt to move them. A key consideration for this collection is the specimen footprint, which is the horizontal space it occupies within a drawer or shelf. We have limited collection space, and specimens need to fit back into their original locations wherever possible. Even adding just a few centimetres to a single specimen can scale up to a significant increase in space across a cabinet location. Specimens, mounts and armature also add additional complexity when we're trying to pack the collections in a space-efficient way. Another challenge within this collection is the large number of specimens we have with pyrite oxidation that are actively deteriorating. Many of these need interventive treatment and anoxic storage.
So with so many specimens moving, we've got to focus our time and resources on only the most fragile or vulnerable. So smaller specimens are usually boxed with conservation grade padding, which works quite well. But larger specimens, as I just said, are trickier because they're often unevenly weighted and too heavy for boxing. So for these, we create bespoke solutions like aluminium handling boards, as you can see in the picture on the left, or epoxy jacket mounts. So this is a nice example of a completed epoxy mount. So for this skull, it's ideal to have the teeth facing upwards for researcher access, but this leaves the underside completely unsupported. So the epoxy is shaped to closely fit these contours and then padded with thin foam, so it can support the specimen along its entire length. It can now be handled with significantly reduced risk. Collections moves often use a lot of packing materials and then therefore generate quite a lot of waste. So wherever we can, we try to reuse or repurpose things. For example, we'll save offcuts of plastidote foam and turn them into soft support pillows to use during treatment or transport. In the Fossil Mammals collection, we also try to reuse existing mounts wherever possible, because even if they were originally made for display rather than transport, adapting them is often quicker, cheaper, and more sustainable than starting from scratch. Here's an example of that approach with this giant sloth spine. The vertebrae were sitting loose on top of the mount, which made them quite vulnerable when moved. So we padded both the mount and larger fused sections with plastidote and then tied them together. The unfused vertebrae were too delicate to stabilize in this way, so they were boxed separately and then attached to the mount on little stilts, as you can see in the bottom picture. So now all the components are secure and ready to move, and importantly, the overall horizontal footprint has stayed the same. So we'd like to thank everyone involved. Thanks for listening.